Alright, back in the NU tier today. I threw together a team with Sneasel on it, normal Sneasel actually. I was talking to some people on Discord today and we were talking about Sneasel. And we haven't seen it really in the NU tier much this gen because it doesn't get knockoff anymore. And then Hisuian Sneasel came along and really just one-upped it because it has more reliable, I think, dual typing and more defensive counterplay. Whereas normal Sneasel is really poor defensively. Doesn't really have too much going for it unless it has knockoff. Now that it does get knockoff, there is that. And I guess technically we will be able to beat the Sableye and the Umbreon to a lesser extent. But we just threw a bunch of offensive scary stuff on this team. And I think it's going to be good. I'm going to lead off with Bruxish because I can punch holes in their team with Wave Crash. If they go into their Colossal, I can go in... No, if they go into their Cryogonal, I can go into my Colossal. If they go into Umbreon, I can probably go into Heracross. Maybe is the correct play there. And if they go into their Sableye, I will definitely go into my Sneasel. This is Eviolite Sneasel, so it will be a little bit bulkier. Here I'm just going to Flip Turn. They may Protect as they end up doing so. But what do you have for Flip Turn? I don't really see your option there. This is Choice Band, so it should do a decent chunk. Although maybe not as much of a chunk as I would have liked. So I don't want to go Rotom here, just in case they decide to go for Thunder Wave. Umbreon does get Toxic now, so I could have gone into my Heracross. But I don't really like that play. I'm going to double into my Heracross though, now that I know that they don't have Thunder Wave, and I can start just messing stuff up. Right. Yeah, I'm just going to go for Trailblaze, as they actually go for Terra Water, which makes me look like a god, which is hilarious. Lash Out, I don't really know what that play was there for. Trailblaze again, and then I will Close Combat. So they actually sack their Umbreon. I don't know why my opponent made that play. I guess they're not that high on the ladder. They have their Sableye, which they should have gone into. Here we can just Facade, and that should kill the Sneasel. They still haven't figured out that Sableye walls my set. But maybe there's some move that Heracross runs that they're afraid of, like I guess Mega Horn, potentially. I don't really think a lot of Heracross run Mega Horn. And if you do, it would be on a slower team maybe, with the need of the Stall Breaker. Something to punch holes in slower Pokemon. But on the ladder, I feel like usually you don't, at least not on lower tier ladders. Maybe if you're in high tier NU, into the 1500s or whatever. But normally I feel like most people prefer to load up offense, and so you want to play more aggressive options. And so even though of course the slower Heracross with Mega Horn will be better at breaking through fat Stally teams, you want Trailblaze, I think, on Heracross in this tier. Alright, we got another game finally. That last guy ended up forfeiting, or timing out, I suppose. This is, I guess, a somewhat bulkier team, funnily enough. I'm actually going to lead off with Sneasel in this game. The reason being, they may want to lead off with their Abomasnow. They ended up not making that play. We will go into Goodra here to go for Aura Sphere. We're not going to make any crazy plays here. Make the safe, obvious stuff. Here we Flamethrower the Abomasnow, and they lose it. Great. You do not get a Spidef boost from Snow, you only get defense boost. So Flamethrower on the switch in means there's no Aurora Veil for my opponent, which I will take. Now, I'm going to Dragon Pulse here because I feel like a lot of times these would Terra Dragon. They decided not to Terra Dragon. Am I okay with this going down? I'm not sure if I'm okay with it going down. My Colossal, how useful are you? Not really useful. Just sack this. We have Explosion on this set, because in my mind, what is Colossal really doing offensively, and I don't want something setting up on me, so I'm going to Explode. I think that's the safe option. And here, unless this is Terra Ground, then they have no electric switch-ins. They do have an electric switch in, but it's Appleton, and I don't really care about Appleton quite so much. Here they probably will Draco Meteor, but if they Apple Acid, then that's fine by me. I'm going to double here into Sneasel. I think you always go into Houndstone here. And if you don't, then I will Swords Dance up. Little Clawitzer now. And we know this is not Choice Scarfed, right? So I can just go for knockoff. And they don't have any good switch-ins to that. And their team is really slow. Like, unless this is Scarf Bruxious, then I outspeed everything on their team. I'm actually curious to see what a defensive Houndstone takes against this. Let's go over here. Houndstone, Uber's defensive. It doesn't matter that it's in the Uber's tier. At +2, this only takes 52%. Man, that takes nothing. Crazy. And then of course it'll low call me back, right? With body press. I just want to break this. Oh, there's Scarf body press. Well, okay then. Now I can Trailblaze on this. Since they're Scarf body press, I'm assuming they're more offensive with, I don't know, Sandrush maybe? Alright. Now I will Facade. They could just switch back into their Houndstone, but if they're going to sack this, then I'll take it. So they couldn't really do anything there because they were locked in. At this point, I will just sack this. That'll be okay. I don't really... Well, do I need this for something? I'm going to sack my Goodra, actually. They actually Fire Fang there, making some kind of crazy prediction. Here I'll go Bruxish. I could have gotten burned there, which would have been bad. But I think this is probably okay. And actually, because I get that drop there, I am going to Terra Dark here and get the kill. I want to Terra Dark because the Houndstone can go for Poltergeist in the endgame, and we don't want that. We're going to sack the Goodra now because I could risk a speed tie, but if they're just going to wave crash, then I don't want to mess around with that. And I can now go for free into my Rotom, as I will just Volt. Check damage, check damage. Bruxish. Bruxish. Are you Choice Band against Rotom, Scarf? Discharge kills guaranteed. Discharge is better, because I can get the pair on this, and if I do, then it's game over. Scarf Houndstone. I'm really excited to see people using offensive Houndstone on the ladder. It's a good defensive Pokemon with Fluffy and Body Press, right? Is Fluffy a fur coat? Yeah, it's Fluffy. That's what I thought. It's a really good Pokemon with Fluffy as a defensive option for fighting types. I don't dislike that. But without reliable recovery, it's always going to have a little bit of a difficult time. And really, it's more fun when a Pokemon can be both offensive or defensive, depending on how you want to play it. And having Poltergeist does allow you to do more offensive sets. I do think that my opponent's set with there was a bit memey. Like, that's going to catch me off guard. Obviously, it did. But even that notwithstanding, it was still a fun enough set, right? I just don't think it'll be that particularly effective with Choice Scarf. Sandrush would be better. Okay. Now we're facing somebody who looks like they have a pretty decent team. Got a lot of different speed tiers, got some fast Pokemon, got some slow Pokemon. And so far we haven't really seen Sneasel do too much. In the first game it didn't really come out, and in the second game it got a kill, and then it got sniped by a Choice Scarfmon. But here it's not looking too bad. Floatzel can get its health whittled down, and then if the Scyther doesn't Terra into something that resists ice, then a +2 Ice Shard might be the trick. And it can help against the Uxie and the Goodra, and even the weakened Electros, because you don't want to give it all its health back with Drain Punch after you don't kill. So you gotta watch out for that. It looks like my opponent does not have any hazard control, but they also have water types that can just flip turn all over the place. So I'm going to go into my Vetrom and I'm just going to click the Volt Switch. My opponent could also Volt Switch out, and that's fine with me. They go for Rain Dance. Huh. So their Electros is not Assault Vest, it's Leftovers. Wait, it's Leftovers, it's not... I don't really know what to make of that. You know, I'll just Dragon Pulse, as they may go into anything. I really don't know what they're going into here. Uxie came out. I'm gonna go into my... Because I need to keep this healthy, I think. Or the Float Soul, or the Clawitzer. What I don't really need in this game is Colossal. They can just U-turn. I was thinking maybe I could get a burn. If they stay in to go for screens or something, I could go for Stealth Rock. Here I'm going to actually Terra Water. If they are Swift Swim, then they can get burned. And if they are not Swift Swim, then that'll be sort of crazy. But being Terra Water, physically defensive, I don't think is a bad thing in this game. And now we have Stealth Rock up. And I don't think my opponent has Defogger outside of the Scyther? I don't remember if Scyther gets Defog. It just never runs Defog. So, you know. I'll go Rotom here. I figured they'd go for an electric move. And I will just click the Leaf Storm here. Because based off the way they played it last time, I don't think they're going to go into Goodra. And here I will go into Goodra again. We go for Drain Punch. Here I can go for... How much did we do with Dragon Pulse last time? We don't know. So I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse again. They recover to get Leftovers back. That's okay. We're making progress against my opponent, getting some of their mons weakened up for Sneasel in the end game. But they are also making progress against me. And their Floatzel went for Flip Turn last time, so it didn't lose any health to Wave Crash or anything like that. I would like to get that Floatzel burned, really. As Electros actually doesn't take that much. So I'm going to actually make a crazy play here. I'm going to go Bruxish. Because if they Drain Punch again, then what are their Wave Crash switch-ins? Looking for my switch-ins like... Got a couple water types, but those are the guys I want weakened. I will also weaken your Goodra. Thank you very much. So using a water type against the opposing rain team. As they go Uxie. This could be max speed, but in case it is not, then we can just kill it here. And Uxie was annoying for my... Are you Choice Scarfed? You are Choice Scarfed. Well, that's cute. My sword stands up here. On the Trailblaze, I don't think Uxie's going to do that much, and it actually doesn't do anything. Okay. So now, given this, I am 442 speed, which outspeeds Floatzel, it outspeeds Scyther. I'm just going to Facade here, as they actually make a really interesting play there. The reason I wanted to kill it right there is because if they were to go into Floatzel with a Swift Swim up, they would still kill. But I can Trailblaze here, and I will outspeed their anything in the back. They could have actually gone, unless they have Aqua Jet, I suppose, which they may go for. But if they do that, I'm just going to go here into my Colossal, because I can get the burn. And this is their last turn of rain. And this is still okay for a kill on stuff. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. I don't think you'll ever stay in here. Maybe just go Colossal, that makes sense. And here I'll just sack Goodra, it's not doing anything at this point. And we will just Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse doesn't let anything set up. And likewise, I don't think that Sneasel lets anything set up, so we will just Ice Shard you. No reason for you to switch out. And Ice Shard is a pretty obvious move for Sneasel to run, so it doesn't really show off anything to my opponent. They may Flip Turn here. I think they probably should Flip Turn here. But again, we can always get that burn. We are Flame Body. They could be Water Veil with the rain just for for the extra power. And if that's the case, I would have no way of knowing if this is even possible. I'm going to go into... I'm just going to explode. Which maybe I'll regret that now. But if they go Float Soul, then that was the thing I needed. We go Rotom here. We will switch out. Yeah, I needed my Colossal for the Float Soul, so that was fine. If I had boomed on the Goodra, that wouldn't have been too bad either. Here, what I was going to do... Well, actually, I don't know what I should have done there. And Volt switch into Sneasel probably is what I should do. Alright. We finally got a game. My opponent's rocking what almost at first glance appears to be a mono ghost team. I mean, Sneasel is looking pretty good in this. It really helps out against the Sableye, and the Drifblim isn't going to appreciate it either. And Dusclops, both of them can Will-O-Wisp, but we'll see. This is why also both stabs lose to this guy, and then the Jolteon does outspeed Sneasel, but we are Eviolite, so unless it's Calm Mind boosted or Terra Fairy, we should be okay. Now they have Defoggers on their team, so getting up Stealth Rock isn't the highest priority. Given that I don't have a ground type on my team, I feel like the Jolteon would be a good switch in here. Or like a good lead for my opponent to make. I don't know. As I'll go Colossal here just to see what they want to do. They want to Curse. Well, I'm okay with that. I would prefer that that be the thing to curse. And here I will go into Bruxish. If they want to curse again, it looks like they didn't get their HP EVs right. But I can also Choice Banded Crunch. Part of me really wants to terrestrialize this. Let me actually check this out. Bruxish against Dusclops. Z Rest Talk, I suppose. Crunch does not do that much, 71%. Yeah, I think I will actually. Because now, not only do I have a chance of killing the Dusclops, but also I will kill the Sableye. They're doing some good chip to me, I'm not gonna lie. But we get rid of the Sableye. Now Jolteon probably is gonna come out, and that's okay. I will go into Goodra. If they're Calm Mind Terra Fairy, then we're gonna have to hold that L. If not, I think we're okay. Curse Pain Split is an annoying set, I will admit. But knowing that that is what they are, you can go for maybe a Scald Burn? There, Ice Punch. We will definitely go into my Colossal now. And with Colossal, I feel like the only thing it can really do is like explode on their two not ghosts. So it's not really that useful in this game, I'm not thinking. So we do get that burn finally, which is fantastic. So we'll Stealth Rock up here. We go for Pain Split. That's not really doing them that much good. I'll just throw up a Will-O-Wisp again there, just in case. And at this point, like, what are they doing? So I'm gonna go Dust for Will-O-Wisp again. They have to choose something to switch in, or their Dusclops will go down with me. They can try to Pain Split to stave things off, but it's not gonna do anything for them. And they have Shadow Sneak as the last move. So what I'm going to do here is just flip turn. They go into Decidueye, and that's a bit crazy. But I don't want to be in with this. I want to be in with the Sneasel. Sneasel says, hey, don't go ghosts. Don't go ghosts. Go into your own Sneasel, which I suppose they could do. And that would be a bit of an issue, not going to lie. Or they could go Jolteon. If they go Jolteon, I think I'm going to stay in and knock off, maybe. But if they go Sneasel, which they do, then I'm just going to go Heracross hard. Because I'm not messing around with this threat. And close combat does way more than I was expecting. It will just Trailblaze, as I am two-shot. It's a bit insane, but that's okay. Leaf Storm always here. I don't want to be stuck in with against Jolteon. They can make the Drifblim play, which is good play on their part, I think. And I could Will-O-Wisp here, but I don't think they would. At this point, I will go Sneasel though and risk that. As I'll just knock off here. They actually... Oh, they're Fling Big Nugget Drifblim. Well, I don't think this is MV since MV doesn't play this tier, but that's cute. Strength Fling, so maybe Acrobatics is in the back. Now that is annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Question. Sneasel against Drifblim. I don't know what your set is. Let's just say you're 0 HP for sake of argument. And then Tear Dark. Because like you're running an offensive Fling set, right? So you'd probably be... Okay, that does absolutely no type of damage. Let's Sword Stands up and see how much Acrobatics does. I'll just Ice Shard here. Get my damage. Call it good. Man, that is an insane set to have. Okay. So... Now that we know that it did that much, 252... like Adamant... No item... Acrobatics, 60 to 72%. That is in the range. So they're Adamant, Unburden, obviously, Acrobatics. So now we have to see how much did that do to Goodra. Probably way too much, 40 to 50%. I mean, that is a roll, so I could take that if I have to. How much did that do to Rotom? And how much does Rotom do in return? Rotom does not do that much damage, and Acrobatics does half. So that is something to note. And Goodra does not really kill either. I think I have to go Goodra though. Risk the roll. Get the damage off. Or kill with Body Press. Actually, it doesn't kill. Alright, we didn't get the roll. So that's unfortunate. So Leaf Storm, crit. Oh, actually, he just killed. Alright, maybe I should have done that first. I don't know. Because now Jolteon just sort of messes me up. I can just Terra Blast safely here. Like, I'm not going to kill it. Yeah, okay. I have to, like, hope for a crit there. And then I can maybe sweep with Bruxish. But not really. Yeah, I'll just crunch. Alright, well that was... I don't even really feel bad about losing to that. That was the most insane Drifblim I've ever seen. Now this team is an interesting combination of units. They've got a Spinner, they've got a Quiver Dancer, they've got a Defogger potentially, meaning that maybe this is Focus Sash and not Heavy Duty Boots. I've got Jolteon, of course Jolteon is just a very good Pokemon, especially when you have no ground type. Lead off with Rotom here, because if I can get damage on this, I will take it. So I'm just going to leave Storm here. They can Terra Ice if they want to. But I will take this. As they actually reveal themselves to be Choice Scarfed. Means they may go into... Yeah, Serena made a lot of sense there. Here we will just go into... Colossal. They should U-turn, I think. Or Knockoff works too. I'm just going to... burn something here. Like, they don't want to get burned on anything. I don't think on their team. As they dodge the burn, which is unfortunate, but they yawn, which I think is a waste of a play there. Now I'm going to actually go Sneasel. No, that sounds like a bad idea. Go Bruxish. This is yawn. I don't think this would be a Poltergeist set. It could be a Poltergeist set. You know, just flip turn out, because I don't care about that. And we will go into the Goodra, I think. And we'll just click Flamethrower. They don't really have a good fire switching on this team. In fact, when I said they don't have a good fire switching on their team, I mean that is an explicit weakness of their team. Serena's fire weak. Houndstone, if it's fluffy, is fire weak. It may not be fire weak if that's how little that did. But I'm also not particularly perturbed by it coming in. Like, what is it doing to me? Well, it's putting me to sleep is what it's doing. I'm gonna go Heracross, in case they do have Poltergeist or something. I go Jolteon. That's about fair enough. Go Gudra here. I don't want to take a Volt Switch into Houndstone. And as you can see, Choice Scarf Jolteon is not really that good of a set, I don't think. It is one of the fastest things alive. Go Colossal here, because I can get a burn on it. I'm actually going to set up Stealth Rock here. The Serena could still have Rapid Spin. Braviary could be defogged. But we've gotten burns on a couple of their guys. Getting rocks up is good. Yeah, okay. I'll take that game. Okay, that one came up real fast. Thank goodness. They've got a lot of Hazard on this team. So I'm guessing Tauros, Hoopa in the end game, then Hazard stack at the beginning. So Rotom lead. Volt Switch out on whatever they have in the lead. Be it their own Rotom, be it Quillfish, be it even their Elephant. They do just lead with that, that's okay. We will Volt Switch out here. I think the trick makes a lot of sense. You want to see what I'm planning on doing. As I will go into my... I want to keep Colossal around. Heracross. Go! As I will just click the Facade. I don't think you should ever... Yeah, I figured you'd go Quillfish there. And now, SD. And then Trailblaze here. Because I can start speed boosting up. They have Hoopa, but if they go into it right like they did right there, now they're in trouble. And now I'll just kill the Facade. So, or not. But cool. Facade again. I knew they could make that play, but I didn't really care if they made that play either. As here now I will go into my Rotom again. Sort of like a turn one play. They have gotten up a couple of hazards. And the Hoopa is still around, so I can't Rapid Spin them easily. But here I shall just Volt Switch. You're sort of forced to go into Serena or Copperajah. As now I can go into my Colossal. And I am going to Rapid Spin. As they can see that, I will. So now I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. As they Whirlwind. I don't think this is what they wanted me to Whirlwind into. Because now Flamethrower is pretty dang free. And here we will just Volt Switch again. They can always protect, but they won't be getting Leftovers Recovery. As they decide to just maybe sack this. Not really sure what their plan is there. Now that's annoying. Did not want that to happen. That was the one guy I did not want to come in. Would have been okay even with Bruxish coming in. See, if we were heavy duty boots, this would have been totally fine. I wouldn't have been at all worried about it. But, what are you going to do? Okay. I'm going to go into my... What am I going to go into here? I can't go hard into Colossal. I'm going to Bruxish. They go into Hoopa. I'm going to Flip Turn. I think. There's the go Rotom there. Lets me get out Gudra. And I can just go for Dragon Pulse here. They can go into Tauros, it'll take damage. They can stay in and Trick or something. I don't care if they do that. They can go Serena, which I think they may end up doing. I think that's a pretty safe play. And they may just knock off or something. Flamethrower does a lot of damage. And actually now they're in range of another Dragon Pulse. And they're pretty slow Serena. I mean, maybe not quite that slow. I mean, if I were max Spadef Gudra, then maybe I would have been outsped by them, but I have some investment. Now, a really insane play here would be to Terra Ground and kill the Rotom right here, right now. I could do it. I could do it. I want to do it. but it's a really bad play. Because if I save Colossal with the Terra Water, then the Tauros doesn't really beat me. Yeah. Let me see how much Tauros does. Tauros. Won't I bulk up something like that maybe? Against Colossal. Explosion does not actually do very much at all. Okay. So I'll just sack this here. Like I said, I could have blocked it, could have flamethrowered and killed the Rotom, and maybe I will regret that later on. It's a distinct possibility that I will regret that later on. But I do know that I can go out to Bruxish and resist Tauros' dual stab, and they don't have a water switch in, or at least a good water switch in. Hoopa here actually allows me to go into Sneasel. And I'm just going to click Knockoff. Knockoff is good for chipping Tauros, I suppose. And at this point, I'm going to go Colossal, because it's not doing that much. And here I will Will-O-Wisp. Look, they made a cool play there. But that doesn't actually even kill me, which is crazy. Now I'm just going to explode. Whatever that's worth. We'll switch out here. Okay, Bruxish here. And if they go into Tauros, I can sack the Sneasel. Yeah, the reason I switched Sneasel out there is because I didn't want him to Trailblaze, is the main thing. That makes sense? I think it does. Yeah. Gonna sack Sneasel here as well. They go Will-O-Wisp. Oh no, that's me. They go for Volt Switch and that fails. Here I'll spam Discharge. As unfortunately they outspeed me, which is bad. If I Terra Electric, I don't think that's a winning play. I sort of have to go for that, I think. Go for Para, full Para. Go for Raging Bull, and that does kill me. Oh well. Now I start looking for another game. Because this one is over. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we found one really fast though, so that's fine. We're running the Electrode, which is the Pepsi to Rotom's Coke. I'm not sure which one I like better. It's really nice not having to be locked into a Choice Scarf and still being stupid fast. But do not levitate, so I don't know. And they're both okay. I'm gonna lead off with my... Sneasel, actually. You know? As my opponent forfeits. I guess Sneasel just intimidated them that quickly. Alright. We found another game. And my opponent is running a very unique team with mostly not unique Pokemon and then a Fungus. Right in the middle there's a Fungus. Also Chansey when Bliss is in the tier. But with that being said, lead off with Sneasel here. I don't think you ever lead off with Tauros. That's not a Neuro Gain Pokemon. If they go Scyther, I can just go Colossal. But getting a knockoff on something early would be great, be it on Chansey, or if they stay in with their Jolteon, I'll take a knockoff on that to weaken it, because this is very Jolteon weak. If I had any ground type, it would not be so bad. But this is an offensive team, and there aren't really that many good offensive ground types in this tier. And my Goodra is Terra Ground, as we've seen, so that would be an option. And I think maybe if I had Terra Grounded in that other game, that maybe we would have been better off, I'm not sure. But here we go. I'm just going to click Knockoff here. It could stay in a Wave Crash, but unless the Choice Scarf, I will outspeed them. And this Knockoff will at least do a good chunk of damage to them. They actually go for the Terra, which is fine by me. Here, yeah, going Rotom is a little bit annoying, but it's sort of the best play. I could also go into my own Bruxish, just risk it. Just flip turn here. Although actually there's no reason not to Psychic Fangs. If I had Aqua Jet, I'd go for that. Hate going for speed ties, but we are max speed. And they don't really have a good Psychic switch in. They just Aqua Jet, and I will take that for sure. I would much prefer that they Aqua Jet and get off some chip than to win the speed tie and go for Wave Crash. Because as you can see, that does quite a chunk even though it's resisted. So at this point, they probably go into Jolteon. They actually go into Chansey, which I will 100% take. Gonna go for Psychic Fangs this turn. Do a good chunk of damage. Still have no switch-ins. They may try to play off the para, which is fair. The Thunder Wave is pretty obvious, which is why I didn't want to go into Heracross. And the Chansey is gone, which frees up my Goodra quite a bit. And if the Trailblaze here, that's okay. Because it looks like they may be the... well, they're not Berry, so they just may be trying to play off of my para, which they actually do get there. So good for my opponent. Just Psychic Fangs again. Because now we can go into the... Goodra and Scald. Goodra and Scald. I really hate to have to make this kind of play. We do have Scald, and it is super effective. Not like we can burn them, but that's okay. And at this point, I'm actually going to go into my Heracross and go for the Facade. They can have the Raging Bull if they want, which they probably do. Now we will just go into my Rotom and Terra and Leaf Storm. Yeah. When we Terra, so we live. We Leaf Storm, so they can't go Jolteon. If they go Scyther, then we always go into the Colossal. And if they go Goodra, then I'm actually going to stay in here just one time. Now we will actually go Goodra now. This is sub called Mind, it looks like. We don't want any of that. I'm going to just body press a couple times. We go for that. Calm Mind is cool, but I do have body press, and you are not Terra Fairy because you burned your Terra on the Bruxish already. So this is okay, I think. Yep, it looks like they do not 2-hit KO. I don't think they 2-hit KO with Thunderbolt either. And body press should take them out this turn unless this is a really crazy roll. Yeah, okay. So they had to go for the para there, they did not get it. And now I have Flamethrower for both Scyther and Fungus. We'll just Flamethrower here. They can't Trailblaze on me. So that's fine. It's interesting they have so many substitute Pokemon on this team. Yeah. Really crazy endgame. I wish they would have brought out the Fungus, but, you know, the Fungus isn't really that good, especially against my team. It's not doing anything against Heracross, really. It's not really beating Bruxish. And the Colossal, for all they know, has a Fire-type move. So I don't think it was over on my end, but on their end, it definitely looked like it was over, I can imagine. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I think Sneasel is okay in this tier. I definitely think it has a place now that it has knockoff, but I still don't think it will be seen too often until we get rid of a few Pokemon like, I don't know, like Heracross is probably something good to get rid of, and getting rid of maybe Jolteon, just because that's such an annoying fast Pokemon. But who knows? And there were a lot of Tauros today, and that's certainly not helping Sneasel in any capacity. But, you know, I think we've seen different matchups. It would have been fine. Low kick with Terra Fighting actually does one-shot a lot of Pokemon that you want to be killing with it. So that'll be it. I'll catch you guys next time.